Well, according to my computer, I am live. And so, welcome. Um, sometimes you get on and go, oh, I didn't do this exactly the way I wanted to. Anyway, how are you today? Go, oh, I didn't do this exactly the way I wanted to. Anyway, how are you today? I hope you're doing well. I hope that what do I want to say? That the things in your life that you want to fantastic are that way. I just want to check on one thing. So here's a book that I've been reading from for last several months. Manifestations, True Stories of Bringing the Imagined into Reality. Because many of you out there look at the law of attraction, or what is it? What goes around comes around. Um, what what you dish out, you come back, and you go, no, if I believe in that. And so you hear this word manifestation all the time, and you're not quite sure of it. Anyway, I pulled this down just a little bit, even though you're seeing my fan. Anyhow, my name is Beverly Fells Jones, and I am the Silver Fox of Consciousness. And for those of you who may be picking this up new, I am an author, speaker, seminar leader, life coach, hypnotist, whole bunch of things. Previously from the world of computers, so I taught computer language. I taught how different computer operating systems. So in a sense, I'm a little bit of a nerd. But that makes it good for me, and it makes it even better for you because I have a natural curiosity. And when my curiosity kicks in, I wind up researching and researching and getting to the bottom, or at least as close to the bottom as I can. And when I said that, I thought about my trip to Sedona in September. I got the opportunity with a friend. We drove out to Sedona, Arizona, which is, it is such a beautiful place. And I kind of expected it to be empty. Oh no, the place was teeming with people. The businesses were flourishing. Yes, everybody was wearing masks, mask mandate, but it didn't stop people from enjoying their lives. And I had been to Sedona before many years ago with another friend, but this one place we didn't go to, and I wound up going there, and it was called Montezuma's Well. And it is a huge aquifer, and it has been supplying water to the area for thousands of years. In fact, people thousands of years ago had their homes, their communities around this well. And reading the information for Montezuma as well, it talked about the fact that they had sent divers down into the well, but they've never gotten really to the bottom. They've done sonar and all those kinds of things, so they know where the water is coming up into this well. And what I saw was the well was lower, but that's been happening everywhere because, we've been taking water from all over the place. I look at Hoover Dam, and it is feet below its normal level because the water from Hoover Dam goes, which is in Nevada, goes into California. But that's a whole nother subject. What I was looking at, wanting to talk about here is because in that conversation or those information about Montezuma's well, they've sent divers down, and it's to them a bottomless pit. They think they know how far down, like the bottom is, the bottom of the well, not where the aquifer is coming up. But because of the movement of the water coming in and the sand and the turbulence, they don't know exactly how deep that well is. And that's how you can think of yourself. How deep is your well, right? How deep can you go within yourself to pull out the information or to pull out who you are? And when I say pull out who you are, I'm talking about this person that you want to be, but you're not quite sure how to get there. You are this person who says, but I went after that. I had set my goal and I can't seem to make that goal. I can't seem to pull myself out of this rut that I'm in, or I can't pull myself out of this poverty cycle or this relationship cycle or whatever cycle that you're in, eating cycle. You lose weight, you gain it. You lose weight, you gain it. And you just can't seem to pull yourself out of there. You think about it, and you keep coming back to the same thing, whatever that same thing is. Like you get to a certain point and then you go, or you make a wrong move, or you procrastinate, or you do something that causes what you really want to go the other direction or disappear, or I always mess up in my relationships, or I don't know how. I just can't seem to convince my boss I need this. I'm qualified for this promotion, but somewhere inside something happens, and that somewhere inside starts in your subconscious. Now, many times I sit back and I kind of grapple with this idea of a subconscious. It's like, how do you put your finger on it? How do you quantify it? How do you know that it's there? How do you define it? I mean, I don't know about you. Hold on. Got a tickle in my throat. I don't know about you, but many times I try to think about, so what is this thing called the subconscious? Coffee. Gotta have my coffee. Couple of cups of coffee each morning. And I still don't have a definition, but I know that it's there because I know that there are, what do I want to say? When I start thinking about things or when a belief shows up, right? Whatever that belief is, that a belief about me. There were years ago, and even today, there has been this feeling that it's not good enough. I didn't go far enough. Um, I was, I've got myself out of that need of being a perfectionist. Everything had to be just right. Okay. It had to be in a certain way. Let's take the scarf, for example. I would play with the scarf and I would make different changes, or go through and I take the scarf off. And then video, it makes a difference. You need some color. All right. But, or the scarf wasn't exactly right. I'd have to change. So, perfection, looking at that was something that was inside me, and I tried to figure out where did it come from. And then I'd go backwards and I'd hear my mother say certain things, or a teacher, or just whatever. But that was buried in my subconscious, that need for perfection, or the idea that it just wasn't good enough. Some of you have that. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not, and I'm gonna say this right out. I blame, in many instances with people that I have been coaching, I blame the church. I am not worthy. I am a sinner. I am this, I am that. And it all breaks down your whole persona. It breaks down the fact that you are a magnificent being. It breaks down the fact that you are God inside of you. God is inside of you. And if God is inside you, there is absolutely no way that you're not worthy. There is absolutely no way that you are not perfect in the person that you are. Because if you truly believe that God is perfection, then that's part of you, and you are perfect. Now, yeah, we mess up, we make mistakes, but we try things, we try different things in our lives, and it might not work. I work out in my beautiful, absolutely junky sometimes garden. It is feeding my daughter and I with lots of greens, and I got so many peppers. It's like, what do we do with that now? I've given away peppers. I've given away celery. I've given away because I've grown so much this year. So now we're in the drying mode, the dehydration mode, the freezing mode to get us through the winter. So I can't give it all away. I've got to do some preservation. And so you do preservation when you are thinking about who you are, what you are, and you want to preserve the best part of you, that part inside of you that tells you that you are perfect the way you are. Yes, we do missteps. You know, the term sin, what did it, I looked at the definition, I think it means missing the mark. Well, we set up ourselves for sin all the time when we're setting a goal, or we said, we're going to do anything. I set a goal to grow some watermelon this year. Thought I was planting watermelon plants and came up with a cantaloupe. I missed it. Technically, by the definition of that, of missing the mark, I sinned in not doing. And somebody said, Bev, that's not funny. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is because it destroys us inside if we continue to call ourselves sinners. I stopped calling myself a sinner. I am an experimenter. I live by honesty and integrity and code and love, but there are times when I misstep. Depending on the country you're in, certain words mean certain things, right? So if I let off an F-bomb, starts with the four-letter word, starts with an F, ends with a K. If I set off an F-bomb in the United States, it's considered a bad word. But these days, a ton of people are letting off the F-bomb. I mean, they're doing it so often that it's losing its sting. It's losing its shockability, right? I went to this one program and the person on the stage used it all the time. And he says, hey, get over it. I use it. And I went to some other things and people were using it. So it reminded me of the 60s or the early 70s when being called Black was not good, right? You didn't want to be called Black. Today, I am a Black American. I am an American of African descent, commonly on forms. Well, now it's African American, but Black, because we took back the detrimental, the bad meaning of Black, and we changed the word. So it's the same thing about you inside, taking what you are believing and changing it to understand that your subconscious is saying, this is who you are. And you're starting to say, yeah, this is who I am, and this is good, and this is why this is good. Okay. So you want to take control of your life. Now, one of those things, one of the things I want to talk about, I'm continuing with my affirmations from my 40 Days to Prosperity class. And so this is number 4. So let me read this to you. Man has always blamed others for that which he is, and will continue to do so until he finds himself as cause of all. I can't read these things all the way through, because sometimes if you read them all the way through without stopping, you miss the point. You won't get it. So let me go here. Man has always blamed others for that which he is, and will continue to do so until he find himself a cause of all. In other words, it's somebody else's fault. I do that. Or I was made a sinner, so it's not my fault. Man was conceived in sin, not my fault. My boss doesn't like me, and so therefore he or she is always calling me on the carpet, blaming others. So let me continue. In quotes, all uppercase, I am. So that's in quote. I am comes not to destroy, but to fulfill. I am, the awareness within you, destroys nothing but ever fill full the molds or conception one has of oneself. So the I am is the awareness within you, within me. It is impossible for the poor man to find wealth in this world, no matter how he is surrounded with it. Okay, so it's impossible for the poor man to find wealth in this world, no matter how he is surrounded with it, until he first claims himself to be wealthy. For signs follow, they do not precede. And that is a quotation from Neville Goddard in his book, At Your Command. Goddard is spelled Goddard, at your command. And so that was the quotation that I used for this day. And here's the affirmation. I rise to a higher level of consciousness by placing my thoughts upon that which I will be. I rise to a higher level of consciousness by placing my thoughts upon that which I will be. I claim myself to be the thing I desire most. I am that, and I accept it. I am, and then there's a line. So who are you? I am Beverly Fells Jones, the Silver Fox of Consciousness. I am an author, speaker, seminar leader, mother, Mimi, not a grandmother, Mimi, a gardener, an artist, and whatever else I choose to put in that space of I am. So let me read that affirmation again. I rise to a higher level of consciousness. So you're bringing yourself up by placing my thoughts upon that which I will be. I claim myself to be the thing I desire the most. I am that, and I accept it, and I am. So, this is the secret to manifesting the life you want, or at least one of them. But this is the most important. Well, I always wind up saying, but this one's important. But this is important because you have to define who you are and how you're going to walk in this world. You're going to define the the meaning of your life and what do you want. I mean, I know I've done a video about I don't know what I want. I don't know what I need in the future or what I'm going to define in the future. Um, what is my greatest desire? I've manifested in my life the things that I wanted. So it's like, okay, so you want to live longer? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? Well, I want to go to Tuscany. Can't do that right now. I want to go to Thailand. I can't do that right now. I want to take a boat ride on the Rhine. So for me, I want to travel. I want to travel to places I haven't been before. I want to have greater relationships with my family. Well, right now, that's kind of a little tough, right? What is it that you want? Who are you? What do you want? How do you want to define who you are, the great I am of you, and put it inside of you, inside of that subconscious mind of yours, so that you can manifest that which you desire. So, in order to succeed, you have to make that change. You have to say, I'm worthy. You have to say, I'm not a sinner to be pitied. I make mistakes. I miss the mark, but I am not all sin because that's the translation your subconscious gets. You're not all sin. And I know there's some religious people who are going to have a fit with me, but it's okay because this is my truth now. And in order to make that shift, it was hard for me to make that shift to realize that no, I don't sin all the time. I mean, I don't do this stuff on purpose. Do I fall short of the glory of God according to them? I fall short because I don't succeed in everything that I do, but it's not on purpose. Sometimes it is because I procrastinate, right? But don't label yourself unworthy. Don't label yourself a sinner. Don't label yourself as not deserving, right? A lot of times we see people who have done bad things and something happens to them and you say, they deserve that. Did they really? Karma can show up on people when they don't realize it. But what I want you to realize is the first thing that you have to work on, the first thing in order to be successful, even if you take my Think and Grow Rich class, we work on your inside, but you set a goal. But if you deep inside of you don't believe that that goal can be achieved, then it won't happen because your subconscious, that thing that actually drives you, will say, you're not worthy of this. You fall short of the mark. What do you think? You think I'm going to give you? I'll help you along the way a little bit, but I'll let you feel like you're getting something done and you're accomplishing things. But nah, I'm not going to let you make that $1,000,000. Nah, maybe you'll make 100,000. Maybe you'll make 500,000. But that million is going to be elusive. That multiple million is like, are you kidding me? Or even, I want to increase my yearly income to $50,000. Yeah, yeah. What skills do you have? All these things start popping up. So you have to make the change inside. If you want some help making that change, just send me a message. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me right here. And you can send me a message or you can send an email to gocbeverly at gmail.com. And let me just stick it down here. Go see Beverly at Gmail. So I'm putting it in the live chat, which is available on the replay. And in there, I want you to put, so subject, change my am. And what I'll do is I'll offer you a free 30-minute consultation and we'll just have a little chit chat. And you can talk about whatever you want. I will not do in that 30 minutes. I will not be that whole time talking you into becoming a client. That 30 minutes is between you and we're going to talk about you. Now, of course, at the end, I'm going to say whether or not you need coaching or no, and whether you will be accepted as a coaching client. But the real deal is you have to want to make the change yourself. Tell you one thing, let me tell you, I have this little thing and I want to say, well, there it is, but it's backwards. It's saying bam backwards. That's not supposed to do that. Goodness. But anyway, would appreciate if you'd give me the thumbs up and subscribe. I don't have one of those. Subscribe to the channel. Um, share this information with your friends and family. And I'll be here next Friday. I think I should go ahead and schedule next Friday so it'll be up in the screen and you can click on it for a reminder to remind you that I will be here next Friday to do it. I like this little piece of software that I got because it does little things like that. It gives you, but it doesn't have everything I want. I need the subscribe button and I need to ring the bell button, and it doesn't have those things yet. It definitely has things that I can do with it, and one of the things I normally do is I put a frame on it, but today I didn't frame it. But which one do I like? No, that's not it. I think that was, we'll figure it out. Which frame? No, definitely not that one. I think it's this one that I really like, isn't it? It gives me a frame around the picture, whatever. Hopefully it's showing up. I mean, according to my camera thing, it's giving me that as part of the live stream. Anyway, it's almost 30 minutes. And so anytime, just send me a message and I'll be glad to answer that for you. Again, for the umpteenth time, because I am doing I am, and I'm going to read that affirmation one more time. Okay. And that affirmation is, I rise to a higher level of consciousness by placing my thoughts upon that which I will be. I claim myself to be the thing that I desire. Now let me see one more thing. There it is. The thing I desire the most. And I put it in the chat. At least I clicked for it to go in the chat. Whether it goes there, maybe it's too long. Let me do this. Maybe the space might not allow me to the underline. I am. There it is. So I am, and then put what you are. I rise to a higher level of consciousness by placing my thoughts upon that which I will be. I claim myself to be the thing I desire the most. I am that, and I accept it. I am Beverly Fells Jones, the Silver Box of Consciousness, signing off and saying to you, I'll see you next Friday live. And as you have believed, let it be done to you. And it is so.